Hello! Today we will be talking about / reviewing, whatever you would like to call it, Batman Knightfall Volume 1. This collects a whole bunch of stuff. There's 3 volumes in the Knightfall story. I've read Volume 1, I'm working on Volume 2, so once I'm done with that I will be doing a review video for it. So we're going to talk about the artwork, the general story, my favorite part of it, my least favorite part of it, and what I thought of it as a whole, because honestly this story is like, it's a mammoth to conquer, but I honestly think it's worth it because this volume was so good, and volume 2 is very, very good as well. But anyway, without further ado, shall we begin? And a few months ago, I did make a video call on books I'm currently reading. It was this along with Clown in a Cornfield. I've read Clown in a Cornfield and Clown in a Cornfield 2, Friendo Lives. And like I said, I'm working on volume 2 of this as well. And I recently just got Batman Resurrection in, which I'm working on as well. And I'm watching a whole bunch of stuff. So I'm very busy and I'm trying to put out content too. And if you guys are curious, I do have a TikTok, which I do post under that, like randomly and all that, just other stuff that I don't do here. So if that does interest you, definitely hit the follow on that. But this is Batman Knightfall Volume 1. As you can see, it is a mammoth of a story. If you don't know, the general point of this is pretty much like, it says on the back, every man has a breaking point, even the Batman, and this is pretty much the famous story where Bane broke Batman. Pretty much, if you ever saw The Dark Knight Rises, that's where they got the inspiration for that, when he was like, I was wondering what would break first, your spirit or your body? And that's pretty much where they got all the inspiration from that movie, besides when he blew up the city and all that, because that was actually more No Man's Land. But this part, like, is definitely the Knightfall story. Sorry about my voice, it's a little dry at times. But this story is awesome, and pretty much what, there will be spoilers in this, so if you haven't read this yet, I highly recommend giving a read first and then coming back and watching this video. But this isn't sponsored in any way. I'm just a huge Batman fan, and if I read something Batman related, I'm gonna want to talk about it. If you're curious, it does have a $29.99 cover price, but I got this, I think, at my local comic book shop, and it was half off, so I think I spent 15 bucks on it, and boy, was it worth it. But if you are curious, what it does collect in this volume is actually Batman Vengeance of Bane Special Number 1, Batman 491 through 500, Detective Comics 659 through 666, Showcase 93, 7 and 8, and Batman Shadow of the Bat 16 through 18, which Shadow of the Bat actually does do a lot into these stories and all that, which sometimes the artwork is really good, other times it's not, but I've noticed most of the time the Shadow of the Bat stuff is actually just that little gray area, and then the rest isn't. But the artwork for the most part is really good, and pretty much Bane has come to Gotham with his idea of just purging the city and running it, and just completely being the overlord badass that he is. And he goes toe-to-toe with Batman, but Batman has to go through his entire rogues gallery first, because Bane just sets loose on Arkham Asylum and releases all of them. So to the point where he finally has his confrontation with Batman, like, he is ragged, he is brought down, he is just fighting for his life because he really has nothing left, because Bane literally confronts him at Wayne Manor after he finds out that he is Bruce Wayne, and then they have this ginormous epic battle inside Wayne Manor, and then at the cave, because Bane actually breaks him inside the cave, as you could actually even see on the poster, because he's got the dinosaur and he's got the giant penny, which we all know is classic signs of the Batcave. But if you are curious, that is what the back of it looks like. Like I was saying, it says every man has a breaking point, even the Batman, and then there's Batman down there, and then Bane up there, and then pretty much what it is I think his name is John Paul, I could be wrong though. He has him take over the mantle of the Batman, but we later know him as Azrael, and the power goes to his head and all that, and honestly, right now, he is a real jerk. I'm not really going to say in any other way, because then this video will probably be demonetized, and that would not be fun. But he's a real jerk when he takes over the mantle, because Bruce is pretty much wheelchair bound, and Azrael is pretty much like, well, I was meant to be the Batman, so I'm gonna be the Batman. But overall, this is such a great great story. Azrael doesn't get along with Tim Drake either, and I love that dynamic of those two going back and forth at each other. But like I was saying, this is a great story. If you're a Batman fan, I highly recommend giving this a read. I know it seems like a whole lot of read, and especially if there's 3 volumes of this, but honestly, give that on volume 2. I think it's so worth it, and honestly, it's such a quick read because it really does keep you interested. But anyway, like I was saying, I'm going to show you some of the artwork, so I'm going to flip the camera around so we can take a look at it. So there it is in all its glory, Batman Knightfall, and I'm just going to pretty much go from here and just show you the best that I can because I am doing this one-handed. But as you could see, when the artwork does get a little bit different, that's when it's Shadow of the Bat, like that right there, when he was fighting the Scarecrow, and I believe that was Anarchy, because he actually doesn't look like how Arrow made him out to be. But I love the Scarecrow. I love all the designs of the classic characters and all that. Yep, Anarchy. This era of comics is honestly, like, goated when it comes to artwork, because this is just so good. Yeah, Two-Face is awesome in it. Like, he gets a chainsaw at one part. Like, it's just a whole lot of fun. And if you're a fan of Two-Face, I do highly recommend giving this a read as well, because it is just so cool. But like I was saying, Bane, like, sets everyone in Arkham Asylum loose, which causes Batman to look like this when he has to have his confrontation with Bane. But Bane was a nice guy. He let him put on his suit first. Isn't he such a nice guy? But anyway, like I was saying, like, love this artwork. I love that version of the Joker. I think he looks absolutely fantastic. But like I was saying, this is such a great story. If you haven't read this or even looked into it, I highly recommend giving it a watch. In all honesty, it's not super expensive in trade paperback form, which I have it in, and highly recommend giving it a read. That's pretty much all I can say. I did probably say watch. That was my bad. But anyway, that was my review of Batman Knightfall, Volume 1. And I have actually been watching the Penguin TV show, which I absolutely think is fantastic. And Superman and Lois, the final season, I've been watching that as well. If you're curious about my thoughts on that, I'll probably do a full season review, but once both of those are done. But I've been doing a bit more of that on TikTok, so if you are curious in that, definitely check out the TikTok channel as well. That was my shameless plug. But anyway, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe so I know to keep making more of these. If you have any video requests, please leave them down in the comments below. I'll do my best to reply. As of now, I have no video requests, so if you do have any, just let me know. As long as within my capability of making it, I will be making it. And thanks for watching as always, and I'll see all of you in the next video. Bye!